My hand overflows, as it literally overflows. Choose one, maybe. Even an aggro druid? I'm so triggered right now. Fuck, it's got patches! Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Hope you're all doing well in this strange and weird time. I bring you another series that I thought would never happen, and it's here. That's right, Waste of Dust. So we're going to basically just look at this deck list. I'm going to talk about what the game plan is, and then we'll play a few games and see if we can win any of them. So to start off with, in the 0 mana slot, we have Moonfire. Deal 1 damage. Deal 1 damage, you may think that's not very good, but it is hyper flexible with Malagos to, say, remove a mid-range type minion with a 1 attack, turning into 5 attack. It also can be used against aggro to get in some chip damage, or it can be just used as chip damage for lethal at the end. Pretty good card. 1 mana Living Roots, choose one, deal 2 damage, or summon 2 1/1 saplings. Primarily, you might want to use this for burst damage with Malagos. Otherwise, you may use it in a dead turn, like turn 1, just to fill the board a bit, so that you can get some tempo at the start. Breath of Dreams, here is where we come to the ramp portion, which is a lot of this deck. 2 mana, Breath of Dreams, draw a card. If you're holding a dragon, gain an empty mana crystal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 dragons. So if you happen to get lucky enough, and you can have the old Wild Growth, except on steroids. Because when you need to nerf a card, then just create a card that's even better than it and add it to a new collection. Wrath, 2 mana. Choose one, deal 3 damage to a minion or 1 damage and draw a card. Pretty good for removal, can be used with Malagos to remove a minion with 6 health. Can't be used to damage face, that was my mistake. Can be exchanged, not too vital, but it is just some cycle. Zephyrus the Great. If you don't know what this card is, I don't know where you've been for the past few months. Have you and Osama bin Laden been bunk buddies? Because, holy shit, this card is everywhere. I have seen it in decks that it does not deserve to be. It is basically the patches of Hearthstone. You just throw it in any random deck and then just make it work. Like this one. Zephyrus the Great, 2 mana. Battlecry, if your deck has no duplicates, wish for the perfect card. Elemental, and it's a 3/2. Extremely flexible card, can be used for AoE. There's nothing Zephyrus can't do, except reverse Corona. Buff Zephyrus, please. Bees, 3 mana. Choose a minion, summon 4 1/1 bees that attack it. Pretty good for filling your board, especially if you're already ahead. You might want to use this to attack one of your own tokens to get 3 1/1s on board, which can be extremely good at creating pressure sometimes. Otherwise, it's just light removal, and it's not too bad. Greedy Sprite, 3 mana. Death Rattle, gain an empty mana crystal, 3 attack and 1 health. This is another ramp card. Jade Blossom, 3 mana. Summon a Jade Golem, gain an empty mana crystal. This has no Jade affiliations. I want to put that on the record. Absolutely no Jade affiliations. This is ramp. Wild Growth, I missed you, buddy. 3 mana, gain an empty mana crystal. This gives you more mana. Who would have thought? Escaped Mana Saber, 4 mana. Stealth, whenever this attacks, gain 1 mana crystal this turn only. 3 attack, 5 health. This can be used to basically ramp into whatever you want to ramp into. You may be able to use this, for example, to go straight into Nourish, and that can be extremely helpful because Nourish is not 5 mana anymore, which is a bit of a problem for this deck. 4 mana, Keep of the Grove. Choose one, deal 2 damage, or silence a minion, 2/2. This is primarily useful if you want to get through that last taunt, or if they've just cube-locked you, you want to just be able to silence it. There's many different options, and against aggro you can use the 2 damage to get back ahead on the board. Maya Keeper, 4 mana, choose one, summon a 2/2 slime, or gain an empty mana crystal, and it is a 3/3. If you're very ahead on the board, you can put on a 2/2 slime, which puts on a bit of pressure, but otherwise it's primarily a ramp card. Overgrowth, 4 mana, Nourish on steroids, that's actually the card text. Gain 2 empty mana crystals. When you have 10 mana crystals and you use this card, then you'll get back excess mana, which will allow you to draw through your deck even faster. But primarily it's for ramp. Swipe, 4 mana, deal 4 damage to an enemy and 1 damage to all other enemies. Good damage with Malagos, can be used as board clear. Good face damage, flexible all round. Elise the Enlightened, 5 mana, battle cry. If your deck has no duplicates, duplicate your hand. 5 attack, 5 health. This is really good for getting that extra value in the longer games. You may even want to copy another Malagos, or you may even want to copy another Deathwing Dragonlord, so that it's just eternal Deathwings all over the place. Elise the Enlightened, very good value card. Starfall, 5 mana, choose 1, deal 5 damage to a minion, or 2 damage to all enemy minions. This is AoE, and it's flexible AoE, so it can either be single target removal, or it can be widespread AoE if you're against a pesky aggro deck that's just trying to get by with whatever dust they've got in this shitty economy. But that's the basic premise, is it's AoE. Summoning Stone, 5 mana, whenever you cast a spell, summon a random minion of the same cost, 0 attack, 6 health. This card is straight trash. I've been trying to make it work since League of Explorers, since a long time ago. It's generally just a way of making these cards which lose use, the mana ramp, more useful in the endgame. Nourish, 6 mana. Choose 1, go to wild format, or get nerfed beyond use. Nourish is just more of that ramp stuff that you need. Also, it's card draw, so that's pretty good. Reno Jackson, 6 mana, battle cry. If your deck has no duplicates, fully heal your hero. 4 attack, 6 health. This is really good healing, and it creates such a swing turn that it can be really hard for some decks to deal with. Spreading Plague, 6 mana, summon a 1/5 Scarab with Taunt. If your opponent has more minions, cast this again. If you are falling dangerously far behind on the board, you may want to consider using one of these. If you manage to Unleash the Enlightened, then you can use 2 of these and stop your opponent from doing anything for a couple of turns at least, because this is an extremely powerful spell for stopping people from getting on the board and getting to that face. 6 mana, Starfire, deal 5 damage, draw a card. Single target removal can be used on the face. If you manage to cheat out a Malagos, it can be used for lethal sometimes, but that's an extremely niche case. Most of the time it's just here for some face damage. Malfurion the Pestilent, 7 mana, choose 1, summon a 2/2 Poisonous Spiders, or 2 Scarabs with Taunt, and you gain 5 armor. And then you get a hero power where you get to do 3 attack or gain 3 armor. Extremely resilient when you want to be dealing with aggro. Getting that 3 health off the armor, extremely important. Controlling the board with a 3 attack, also extremely important. Overflow, 7 mana, restore 5 health to all characters, draw 5 cards. This is more card draw. This deck has a lot of card draw already, but there are some niche applications where for some reason you are out of cards. This has happened before, and if you're in that damning situation, you're going to be thankful that you have at least one of these in your deck. Or 2 of them, which we'll get to. 9 mana, Dragon Queen Alexstrasza, battle cry. If your deck has no duplicates, add 2 other random dragons to your hand. They cost 0. An 8/8 dragon. It's a pretty big swing turn, especially because you're ramping into it. If you drop this on turn 5, it's pretty powerful. Also getting copies of it with Elise is extremely powerful as well. Malagos, 9 mana, 4/12, spell damage +5, and it's a dragon. This is most of your burst damage. Ysera, 9 mana, 4/12 dragon. At the end of your turn, add a dream card to your hand. There's 4 or 5 dream cards you can pull, and they can either be used for value, or they can be used for lethal. In a lot of cases, it actually happens to be lethal. Ysera Unleashed, 9 mana, battlecry, shuffle 7 dream portals into your deck when drawn, summon a random dragon, and this is a dragon, that's 4/12. Don't play this against aggro. I know, it's real tempting. Getting that board flood is huge, but losing Reno Jackson is even bigger. Just be cognizant that these won't trigger, because I've had so many times where I've dropped Reno onto the board going, oh yeah, I've just won the game. And Ysera has fucked me. Deathwing, 10 mana, 12/12 dragon, battlecry, destroy all other minions and discard your hand. Very risky. If you have to play this ever, you are at a serious disadvantage. But 0.001 recurring 0.00 something, you may win off of this card, particularly against an aggro deck. If they somehow don't manage to deal with it, you can deal with it. and you can reload with some of the draw that you've got in your deck. Primarily though, you'll be using Deathwing Dragonlord, 10 mana, 12/12 dragon, Death Rattle, put all dragons from your hand into the battlefield. This can be extremely useful for just plonking on the board at turn 5 because you're ramping, and then they try and get through it, and they're just like, oh, he doesn't have any dragons. Malygos, Deathwing, concede. Very powerful if you play it early enough. And you need to bait out Polymorph and a heck of a lot of other stuff, but provided everything goes correctly, which it actually does a surprising amount of the time, this goes well. Ultimate Infestation, 10 mana, deal 5 damage, draw 5 cards, gain 5 armor, summon a 5/5 ghoul. Extremely powerful card draw, extremely powerful swing turn. It's great. That is the basics of this deck. Ramp into unfair turns and then nuke face. Gonna be honest, I don't know what druids run a lot. They're actually quite... In standard, they're a lot different from wild. I think this druid will probably be running... My guess would be... Choose one druid.
Nature's blessings upon you.
That is a lot of ramp. Jesus. Oh, so many choices. I think we'll go Greedy Sprite unless... Okay, so it's more of the Firefly, Glowfly type thing. We want to very quickly ramp into the good stuff. That being said, I don't think we'll have like a better turn 4 play than ramping with one of these cards. So I honestly think at this point we Greedy Sprite. Okay. We want to put on a bit more board pressure, and Wild Growth is best for doing other stuff. Okay, it is a ramp battle. We could have probably Starfired Face, probably, but yeah. Not great that we've got our two biggest draw cards in our hand. Typically, I only want to see one of them during the entire game. If I'm lucky. If I'm feeling in a really, really good mood.
The circle of life is over.
Okay.
The circle of life is over.
Now here we make a bit of a tough decision. Not really. I'm thinking about next turn actually. So I am going to go ahead and trade these in. Because next turn I want to be able to Ultimate Infestation that one there. Christ. Ramp Central here. What the fuck is this guy's deck? It's a Jade deck. It's a Jade deck that only runs Jade Idols. Here we go, folks. Please. And none of what we wanted, gonna be honest. So this is gonna burn a card. Hopefully it's not Malygos. That would suck. This deck is running that mulch thing. I personally guarantee it. In fact, I've never been so sure of something in my adult life. Or child life, for that matter. Because a lot of druids are running that mulchish card. Okay, what do we burn? Moonfire's not too bad. So we're gonna just... We can't plonk down Ysera. Super cool. Our hand is pretty full, unfortunately. And we're just gonna hold off for now. Maybe I should have just dropped Deathwing. Hindsight is 50-50. Okay. Do we want to... Hand is just full all the time. So we're going to do 2 damage here. And then we're going to Alexstrasza. We could have played this a lot differently. There's a lot of different lines we could have taken. Oh my god. These are both unplayable. Yay. Oh well, I mean, we've got all the boys here. Look at this. Deathwing, Deathwing, Deathwing. Have you seen more Deathwing in your life? Okay. Is that... If that's his turn, then we're G. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. Okay. You know what I'm actually gonna do? And do that. Bonk. Wrath. We can discard that pretty soon. I might even play Reno Jackson for tempo.
My thoughts are played.
There's the first poison seeds. That says to me that he's got the second one in hand because he very quickly did that. I don't know if he's running single target removal, however, because of what he just did. So I'm gonna go out and play Deathwing Dragon Lord. Because if he had single target removal, surely he would have used it on, what's his name? The other Deathwing. Christ, this guy has a lot of armor. So here, we are, honest to God, just gonna do this, and probably drop Reno Jackson. Yeah, just drop him down. We want to be able to copy cards that need to be copied, like Deathwing or Zephyrus. Okay, Starfall, does that help us? Yes. It does a lot. You'd be surprised, but being able to deal with that as quickly as we did is an A+. Okay, we are definitely going to drop Keeper of the Grove just to... It's going to get armor, right? Oh, he's drawing a card. Malagos, extremely good. It's just a shame we don't have any damage cards in hand. He doesn't know that though. So we're just gonna silence a minion and Elise. We now have a lot of shit in our hand.
I'm almost out of cards.
What is that? It's not mulch. Poison seeds. Yep. Oh, that is the best. You know, I feel happy with that. That's it creates some epic highlights, and if you want, the deck only costs like $6,000, so go out there and play it today. Alright, take care folks.